Welcome to this edition of Platform. I am Muhammad Kudu Abubakar. Nigeria's 1999 constitution, as amended, provides and mandates the local government authorities as multi-purpose bodies responsible for delivering a broad range of services in relation to roads, traffic, planning, housing, economic and community development, environment, recreation, amenity services, fire services, and several others. Out of a total of 774 local government areas in Nigeria, 6 are in the Federal Capital Territory, FCT, but they are specifically called area councils. They include Abaji, Abuja Municipal, Buari, Gwagwalada, Kuje, and Kwali area councils. The 1999 Constitution, as amended, also tasked the local governments to ensure order in the markets, provide citizens with amenities, service roads, streets, drains, public places, and to build new facilities where necessary. This edition of Platform examines the functions of these area councils with specific focus on the Abuja Municipal Area Council, which has the privilege of hosting Abuja's 3 arms zone, that is the Presidential Villa, National Assembly, and the Judiciary. Honorable Abdullahi Adamu Kandido is the Chairman, Abuja Municipal Area Council, and our guest on this program. Born in Jiwa Village, 3rd December 1965, Honorable Kandido holds a postgraduate diploma in journalism and a HND in journalism. He had served as supervisory councillor for Works, Abuja Municipal Council 2001 to 2003, Council Secretary, AMAC 2004 to 2006, and was appointed interim chairman of the Abuja Municipal Council in 2000. Honorable Abdullahi Adamu Kandido was elected executive chairman, Abuja Municipal Council in 2016. From 2016 to date, he has piloted the affairs of the Abuja Municipal Council, which hosts the Abuja Federal Capital City, consisting of 12 wards, namely Garki, Gwagwa, Gwarimpa, Jiwa, Karshi, Kabusa, Karu, Nyanya, Orozo, and Wuse. Honorable Abdullahi Adamu Kandido, Chairman, Abuja Municipal Council, welcome to Platform.
It's my pleasure, Nigerians. Thank you very much.
As usual, we have our panelists. Mitare Ikben from the NT News 24 is one of the panelists today.
It's my pleasure.
Of course, our regular panelist, Ruth Aguele.
It's a pleasure to be here.
Honorable Abdullahi Adamu Kandido, welcome once again to Platform.
Thank you very much. I'm
From
honored.
2016 to date, you have been piloting the affairs of the Abuja Municipal Council, and it is a unique council. But before we go to the day-to-day running that you have been superintendent, what exactly, because I can see in your CV, you are already part and parcel of the council, from supervisory councillor, and you rose through the ranks. What interest made you to remain in that council or within the local government authority, even though you are trained as a journalist?
Thank you very much. I think I am more or less a household name in Abuja Municipal Council, not necessarily because I went into politics. When I finished my secondary education, I started as education assistant in the same Abuja Municipal Area Council before I decided to quit the service and then venture into the art of journalism. Having gotten my training, indeed, immediately after my first certificate, that is the National Diploma in Journalism, I was called by the constituents to go represent them as a honorable elected councillor. And that was, of course, precisely in 1999. So I was privileged to serve in this capacity for about 5 months, and of course 5 years, 11 months. And by the grace of God, that was the beginning of my political sojourn as far as the area council is concerned. So far so good, and I think it is entirely about service. The people desire your service, and you giving you come around, and of course the service gets going. The people get electing you, and they're making you a representative in government. So I think these are reasons why I ventured. And I must also highlight here that even before I ventured into journalism, into partisan politics, I used to be a very good local activist. I'm so concerned about the welfare of the people. I'm so concerned about the development of my community. And so they saw that in me, and I think that may have propelled the action and then made me to be a politician. Today, this is who I am.
Well, from 2016 to date, you were elected executive chairman. Certainly, like I said much earlier, you are part and parcel of the area council.
Actually.
But how will you describe the state of affairs of the council before you now assumed office in May 20th, 2016?
I want to assure you that from 1987, when democracy began to, take off in the 6 or in the then 7 local governments as it used to be, I have been a keen participant, a grassroots mobilizer, a grassroots coordinator of political activities, even before I venture into being one. And therefore, I have seen who was the first elected chairman. I also knew those who were appointed as sole administrators, though I may not have anything to do with them. But from the point of the first elected chairman, I played a great role, or greater roles, in ensuring that I mobilize people as to we must be participants, not just passive watchers. We must participate. And so from that point, I knew who was the first elected chairman. Even after the military intervention, I also knew who became another chairman, and subsequently all these chairmen that served in Abuja Municipal Council from 1987 till 1999, when I came as a councillor, I knew them one-on-one, person to person. And so they all did everything possible to improve the lives of the people of Abuja Municipal Council in their own way. Don't forget, every administration has its own pros and cons. And so they made the council the way they made it. They got it improved to a certain extent. And then, of course, in assessing them, I must admit that all the successive chairmen that I also came to take to succeed them, they all played major roles in defining governance as far as this area council is concerned.
Well, since you don't want to come out and tell us exactly whether there was governance or there was none, let me allow my colleagues to come in.
Okay, so Chairman, this is your second tenure in office, and we all know that AMAC is a very important local government council because of its location in the seat of government. Now, would you say, in terms of programs, facilitation and achievements, you've been able to live up to your vision?
Yes, I think just like I've said, from 87 till 99, there is no chairman that I did not know.
No, talking about you being the chairman
I'm
now.
to my own now.
Okay.
And so I knew how every chairman operated. And so when I had this opportunity, I refused to do things old ways. Okay, and this is what is going for us here. We try to get things, newly done. Innovations, okay? Instead of just the traditional, you are chairman, end of the month you pay salary, then little droppings, you do one drainage here, one borehole here. No, I refused to do that. What I did was to be creative, okay? And so between that 2016 to date, the area council in the history of its, being in place from 1984 to date, I want to believe, and the AMAC residents are witnesses, that this is one administration that has excelled in innovative ideas. Okay? We put in place several things that you may think they may not even be there because this is a council.
You want to break that?
Yes. That is
Let's
what
have an idea. Can you name
we
them?
put in place a company. Okay? You wonder why is a local council putting in place a company? We did that in order to expand the frontiers of governance, and trading. We need to do business with the outside world. And today, the AMAC Investment and Property Development Company, which we initiated in 2016, has done 1 or 2 markets. Okay, a $1 billion project in partnership with partners that are supposed to come to partner with government, instead of just thinking of the usual provision of little amenities. You can see the area council has gone above that, went into business, and then today that AMAC Investment and Property Development Company has done so excellently. Of course, they may have some challenges because it's just growing, but with time, I want to believe that successive administration will find AMAC IPDC a good business platform where they can reach out, their potentials. 2, you can also agree with me, and the AMAC residents are witnesses. We put in place what we call AMAC Marshal Guards. Now, it has never happened. Now, these AMAC Marshal Guards are, providing 2 services. One, they are nosediving into rural areas, because having trained them, okay, we posted them to their respective wards, okay, and now you can. The beauty of it is that even after we put in place this AMAC Marshal, today, 3 years after or so, you can see an idea of coming from regional states, of thinking of pockets of community policing. Yeah. Now, we saw this 3.5 years ago, and we put in place this AMAC Marshal. Today, haven't seen 1 or 2 pockets of criminalities and crimes in their localities. They report it to conventional security agencies. They are not there to arrest and detain, but just to nosedive. If they come across crimes and criminalities, they report to police, they report to SS, they report to NSCDC. This is essentially their job. And 2, we have been able to now bring out people out of joblessness, right? Instead of just loitering around in their communities, which to some extent is because of that you see them falling into crimes, they are now self-employed. Because the little 30,000 were given to each of them has enabled them now to secure one thing to do and then earn a living. Some have even gone to school, okay, extramural classes, part-time courses and quite a bit because of this little services. And so today, some of them are in the universities. Now, if have not done this, they wouldn't have gotten that chance. This is a creativity. This is a creativity and innovation from the part of my government. We're in a studio here. My administration, in just 2 years of its coming to be, initiated and conceptualized what we call AMAC Community Radio. It has never happened. Now it is in the offing. We have gotten the facilities in place. We are now only just some meters away from achieving our license, where we are going to disseminate information in our own local ways. The people need to be sensitized. The people need to know what is around them. The government need to also hear from the people. Now, this AMAC Community and Grassroots Radio is going to disseminate information in local languages, and is also going to communicate in the real Nigerian senior languages, the Hausa, the Yoruba, the Igbos, and what have you. You can see. So, in a sense, you will agree with me that this administration, which I am leading, has conceptualized theories different from what we used to have in years past. Now here we are, thinking of ideas. Apart from even providing the services we are doing, we are also putting in place some of these facilities so that at least the people can have something doing. We also conceptualize the idea of having skills acquisition centers. They are all established in order to, ensure that since not everybody can get white-collar job, you loiter around going from ministry to ministry, going from, the department, institutions and agencies. These jobs are not coming. So instead of that, we say, look, gentlemen, you have acquired degree, yes, you have a diploma, you have HND or whatever. Go learn a trade so that you can use that skills and earn a living. These are, theory that we put in place, and today I want to assure you that it's paying off, because after just 3 years, we have changed the face of our thinking. The people in Amak have seen one or two things on ground. Apart from the facility that are essentially supposed to be provided by a local council, we have also thought of these ideas. And I'm sure that with additional 2 years to go, we are thinking of other things.
Okay, Honorable Candido, during your first tenure, your development blueprint was called the Change Agenda. And now, upon your re-election, it's called the Next Chapter. So, in terms of infrastructural development, what has changed and what is the next chapter?
Good. We put in place, and I think the brochure there defines what we were able to achieve in the last 3 years. Now, what do we intend to achieve in the next chapter is to ensure stability of what we're able to do.
Why did you call it the next chapter?
Yes,
at the federal level, the APC is saying next level.
Yes, and don't forget AMAC is also APC. So because we're at local level, we wouldn't like to define our own as next level, but next chapter, because we're opening up a new chapter from the last level we came from. We're coming up with a new chapter of new thinking once again. You get my point? Instead of the usual thing we did in 3 years back, we're now thinking of coming up with new thinking. And this new thinking has to do with, touching lives, ensuring that there is empowerment in the people.
In terms of infrastructural development, what were some of your milestones in the change agenda?
This is what I'm trying to let you know. This new chapter has defined a course. Today we have what we call AMAC Microfinance. First in history. It's headquartered in the Secretariat, and we have a branch in Gwagwa, sited in the market, providing soft loans. Okay? The people can now access the little bank, get little soft, money, and they improve their target of business. Now, this is a new chapter, because in the last chapter, we did not have it. Now we are having it again this time around, because we want to make sure that things we are touching physical person. Having provided 1 or 2 little infrastructure on ground, we now need to empower men themselves. We now need to make sure that people feel the pulse of government. And so by putting in our microfinance bank, then the people have now access to do business, and then improve their well-being. This essentially are things we want to do. And of course, I have also put in place what I call AMAC environmental cadets. We are talking of how to ensure that our communities or our society are healthy in nature. And so because of this, we were able to put in place this AMAC environmental cadets, well-kitted and well-trained. And then they are now also, just like the marshals, going around our localities, sensitizing Nigerians on how they must live, in a very good environment.
Recently, the AMAC withdrew from the Solid Waste Management Service and left it to the AEPB. What initiative?
No, we didn't leave it. We did not just abandon our obligation.
Okay.
AEPB is an establishment of the Federal Capital Territory. From the concept of the Constitution, local councils, not just AMAC alone, local councils have the prerogative. They have the defined laws guided by the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria to do some of these pockets of clearing and whatever about as far as environmental issues are concerned. But do you know why we have to allow for mutual understanding in the Federal Capital City? Is to ensure that we don't allow people to suffer unnecessarily. Okay? Now, there is this
maybe AEPB came into being because the councils don't have capacity.
Very good. I'm coming there. Now, because we do not want to have multiple taxation in this capital city, and wouldn't like people to be put in pens unnecessarily, and then the councils in the recent past and the FCDA through the AEPB have clashed unnecessarily, we saw it as not too good for government serving the same people. So we agree that yes, certainly this is our job.
Okay.
We agree we are limited as far as capacity is concerned, You are a big brother. I think we can have this palliative of understanding. Let's reason together because we are serving the same people. And therefore, we reach out to them. They reach out to us, and we sign this understanding that, yes, you and AMA can do this thing together. When we are in the field now, there won't be any more quarrel. Because when we go to you as a client and we want to take one or two things for you so that we can service you, and AEPB comes, that's double and multiple.
But is there environmental awareness, especially in this rural areas?
Yes. Exactly what I did was to ensure that between the area council and FCDA through the AEPB, we entered into lots of understanding, and we came to the Secretariat of AMA and then signed a deal which we read in a press conference. And apart from the press conference, which was televised and also carried in the radio stations, our men are also in the field sensitizing that, look, this gentlemen, we no longer are carrying out this thing. It is AEPB. The understanding is just between we and AEPB. So the people are well aware and they are well informed. And indeed, it has reduced a lot of tension now, because usually there used to be this crisis of who is supposed to take, who is not supposed to take. Now it has buried that.
If I stay with environmental sanitation, previous rainy seasons, we've experienced flooding and flash floods in parts of the Abuja municipal, especially in the satellite towns. What are you doing, and what are your marshals doing to address this trend, especially ahead of this rainy season?
Yeah. I quite understand where you're going, but I need to also let you know that because we are domiciled in the capital city, we appreciate our capacity and we also appreciate our incapacity. As for flooding, the area council does not have the capacity, to really mitigate against this menace called flooding that is a natural disaster. And so the Federal Capital Territory, through its agencies, does that. What our marshals does is to only sensitize and create awareness among the people on the need for them to ensure that they don't drop waste into gutter so that these gutters are not blocked unnecessarily, because it is in the process of just wasting, dropping your waste into drainages and what have you, that the drainages get blocked and then water could not even access where to flow any longer. So we are sensitizing citizens on that basis. And don't forget, the capital city is not just the area council. Our Amak area council is right into the bush, 20 kilometers away from the capital city. What you are noticing or witnessing within this, in the areas of this flooding, are usually within this estate developed communities, and therefore the FCDA does that while we go to the rural areas to do what we can. And then where it is above us, we call the attention of the office that are concerned as far as this flooding is concerned.
Yes, I asked specifically because some of these flood challenges are actually in the rural areas, which you just confirmed is within your jurisdiction.
Yes.
So can you candidly tell us or give us a distinction between your jurisdiction as Abuja Municipal Area Council and the jurisdiction of the Federal Capital Development Authority, especially in terms of provision of amenities and infrastructural development?
Well, if you go to communities, you will see facilities so provided by these area councils, particularly drainages and what have you. But if it comes to flooding, I must confess, and I must give it to FCDA or FCTA, because they are bigger brothers, and they have the best of capacity to handle whatever affairs about that has to do with flooding. But as far as we are concerned, in most of our localities, we provided good drainage, good drainages, and of course roads. And so when there is rain, there is every reason to know that we are not afraid of a situation that could cause havoc. But where we have such situation, we quickly call the attention of the office, that is the FCD, the agency that is charged with that responsibility, and we have partnered and worked together in the last rainy season.
Can you highlight some of these roads and drainages specifically? Because I'm asking because some people think your functions are subsumed in the functions of the Federal Capital Development Authority. So it would be good for you to highlight and mention some of these road and drainage projects.
We have 12 wards, okay, in Abuja Municipal Council, and I will beat my chest through my brochure, okay, for people to visit these wards, and then they will certainly confirm what I'm now saying, on this platform. For instance, if you go to, we have 3 axes in AMAC: Zone A, Zone B, Zone C. There is no zone that one community or the other did not, get benefit from some of these facilities. Is it in the area of drainages? Is it in the area of asphalting of roads? Is it in the area of even rural electricity? We connect one village or the other. We also add value by,
I think what Mitere wants you to do, Honorable Chairman, is last year there were challenges of flooding, particularly in Gwarimpa area, which happens to be one of the wards that falls under your jurisdiction.
Yes.
What did you do, and what did FCDA do?
We partnered together. Our AMAC, as a council, have an office where we call it emergency unit. The moment we have situations that is approaching like this, and we know that it's going to overwhelm the area council, we quickly get the attention of the agency that is concerned. And we have worked together. As if they are listening to me now, they will confirm that yes, we have been working together in this ceaselessly. There is no point where you have a situation that is about to cause havoc that you don't see FCDA people and you don't see AMAC people there. Because what we agree is that we don't have the capacity like they do. And so we don't take chance. Though it's in AMAC, but we don't allow this chance to be lost.
So we're in February, FCDA. As we approach the next rainy season, what are your plans?
Very good. As it is already approaching, we are now already holding series of meetings. One of the platforms for our meetings is to discuss these prone areas. We have identified some of these flash points and we are discussing them at the management. Then by next week, we are now inviting the stakeholders from most of these prone areas so that we can further enlighten them on the need for them to be proactive.
What about other area councils? Is there a synergy? Because if it's just protecting my own territory, the whole essence is to ensure environmental sustainability.
Sincerely, I want to assure you that particularly the new crop of chairmen that we do have, there is this semblance of unity. Okay? There is synergy between all of us, the 6 in number. And so what affects Abaji, you could see that Abaji is far away from Ama, but it affects me. And what affects me affects the chairman or the management in Gwagoleda. So there is this relationship that is already the bond is too great that we always discuss issues. And so we can be of assistance in one way or the other amongst us without any...
so there are plans in place?
Yes, of course.
Okay.
Particularly, for instance, my closest neighbor is Buhari here. Okay, you can see we have communities, side by side each other. We have this understanding. And if there's any problem in Buhari, I rush there. If there's any problem in Amak, the chairman of Buhari also gets to Amak so that we share notes and we share ideas.
Now your change agenda and the reforms and initiatives you have brought up. You've talked of the investment and property development, whereby you said markets have been developed, the Amak Marshal Guards, Amak Community Radio, Skills Acquisition Center, Amak Microfinance. Where is Abuja Municipal Council getting all these finances to do these novel ideas? Or is it that you had some money somewhere, or it's just the same statutory allocations that you have?
You see, these are something that Nigerians need to know. You don't just rely heavily on allocations. So, because you know that these allocations are limited, they won't cover what you really want to cover. What you do is to allow for private public partnership. These are the thinking. Possibly because in the past we don't see beyond our nose. Now we allow our wisdom to be applied in this area where if I don't have this means, what do I do? Let me just give you an example. Amak IPDC. The area council put in little resources. Okay? Now, to allow the property development company to take off. Having taken off, it is now the responsibility of the management of this investment company to now reach out with partners so that they can do this business together. But whatever you put there is still Amak. And therefore, this is the angle we are coming. We are using public-private partnership. Okay? Because across the globe, government is not all about just rendering service through little effort of services and then paying salary. You need to do other things. And so that is exactly what we are doing.
But is it like outsourcing your responsibilities?
No. It doesn't outsource any responsibility. You see, okay, let me tell you an instance. Amak is a major shareholder in the microfinance. We now employ other Nigerians who are willing to be shareholders. Okay? But the name we use is Amak Microfinance. If you are now coming to invest your little resources into it, you become a shareholder. You can even rise to becoming a director. The important is that we are doing business with people. Okay? And it doesn't take away anything from the council. We are not changing the services we are supposed to provide using our little allocations and IGR. Instead, we are only boosting the morale of the council and expanding and opening the council to the outside world.
What about tax? What about tax payment? Because I know Amak collect a lot of tax from people.
Or levies.
Yeah.
Why you say
such as tenement rates?
Okay, when you say a lot of tax, yes, Amak has lots of sources.
Okay.
Unfortunately, very unfortunately, the major revenue source is what is called the tenement rate. Very unfortunate, like I keep saying. When we came in 2016, we were only privileged to enjoy, very smooth collection for not less than 5 months. Thereafter, we had issues with organs of government. When I say organs of government, I'm talking of superior organs of government that are also wishing to also partake in these collections. But of course, this is something for another day because we have been able to reach out, with these organs of government, and there is peace between us now. Though you will not say that some client did not take Amak to court because they want to pay and see what the services that are provided.
Which is what I'm getting at.
Good.
Now, it's an opportunity for you to clarify on that because a lot of residents under the Amak,
Yes.
are of the opinion that they want to see, the benefit of what they're giving back.
And they are seeing the benefit by the grace of God. One of the important reasons why tenement rate is collected from the rich is to enable the poor get service. This is one of the beautiful reasons. Nigerians are tax unfriendly. You don't expect Abuja Municipal Council now to pluck a little resources from you, a property owner in Guzape area or in area 1 or area 2, and then you expect the area council to now, in turn, come and give you borehole. No, it is not done. What this segment of resources is supposed to be used is to plug it from you, the well-to-do one, and then take it to service the poor locals. That is also an essence. But within my own wisdom, I decided to say, no, even the properties in the cities need some touching.
Has there been any level of compliance? Because I remember in 2018, you were hammering on that.
Yes.
This elite to pay this non-payment of property tax. Any compliance? What move did you make?
No, you see, we do not have any issue with the clients. When I mean the client, I mean the property owners.
Yes.
We don't have issues with them. What we had issues was on the modalities for collection. But we have to make our defense because we know we are guided by the Constitution. And because we are guided by the Constitution, the upper organs of government who do not maybe appreciate our situation finally, saw reasons why, yes, they have to support the idea of area council. And so what is most important is that judicious use of these resources in the best manner. And that is what I'm saying, that when you go to this locality, you will see things.
So what is the percentage compliance? That's what Ruth is trying to do.
Oh, it's high. It's very good.
The percentage?
Yes, exactly. Except for now, that we have little issues in the court. Some clients
when you say very good, 80%, 90, 60?
Well, we can give it to 50, 60. Because of the the nature of our tax unfriendliness. People hardly pay tax. That is one thing. And so that is the area where local councils sometimes use enforcement. And while applying enforcement, certainly, sometimes you don't get the best of relationship.
But can you explain this little scenario? Residents within Garki, for example, you find out that they provide refuse bins for themselves, for their areas, and they pay tenement rate. Those refuse bins, in my thinking, should be provided for by the municipal area council.
I think we have our men who does all these things. Sometimes, before we had this understanding, you're talking of refuse collection, before we had this understanding with the AEPB that are now carrying out, collections of waste within the capital city while we do this above. Okay, the area council have its own contractors too that go around to collect this waste and then deposit them in the dumping site. So there wasn't any issue that will suggest that, we are not doing our own bit. But the issue is that this is something that you collect now, and in the next 1 hour, it is as if you have not even collected. This is something that has to do with our character and conduct. The moment you are able to clean this spot, drive to the next street, and before you come back, you will still see refuse again dumped in that particular place you have collected. So it has been a major cause of concern, but of course, we are all learning, and we are trying to improve on the idea so that people can begin to know that this must not be the way you are, putting your waste.
So for tenement rate, who now collects? Because in recent times, some residents of the municipal will see officials from the FCTA, and at other times see officials from AMA. Who now collects tenement rates in the municipal?
Nigerians should know that as nationwide, when I talk of nationwide, tenement rate collection is to be done by local councils. And as far as we are concerned, in the capital city here, the only council we have is Abuja Municipal Council. Outside the AMAC, we have other 5 area councils. But within the AMAC here, tenement rate collection is done till now, and it will remain, guided by the Constitution, is to be done by Abuja Municipal Council.
Now, Chairman, everything you've said here, yes, we'll commend your efforts. You have really tried to change the narrative, and in fact, what you're doing can be compared to some state level. But the area of continuity, now this is your second channel.
Yeah.
When you leave, we have this syndrome of continuity. I don't know if I should call it a challenge. What do you think if we must sustain these developmental goals you have already set in place?
Well, this is a common phenomenon. As you're about to take a bow, you never know who becomes the chairman. As I sit with you now, I don't know who is going to become chairman of AMAC after I leave. Only God knows. But what is most important is that when you come and, take over, and you see beautiful strides, what should impress you is to ensure that you continue to maintain it. Because there shouldn't be any reason why you kill an idea whose time is already there. So the base of idea is to ensure that you maintain that platform. For I can't believe my eyes if somebody who becomes chairman after me kills AMAC IPDC. I can't believe my eye if somebody coming after me kills AMAC marshals, because you are going to send back these children back to unemployment. And they are also not going to provide this local community policing that we're talking about.
But you have 3 years from now.
I know. So I have less than that.
Okay.
He has 2 years.
I have
2
only
years.
2 good years now. The other fractions are just about 3 months, added to it.
Now let's talk about this next 2 years that you have. What will you be doing? what will be your blueprint,
Your blueprint.
if any? And then what projects should their constituents look forward to?
Good. I am coming in now in my second term with new crop of councillors. And I desire that as councillors elected by that same people, they need to also showcase their potentials. Only 4 months ago in our budget retreat, we agreed to put in place some infrastructure in their localities. We have ranging from, road construction. We still want to add more. We also want to make sure that some schools are added. We also want to make sure that we build primary health care. This, for me, is only to attract these services very close to the people, because, like I told you, Abuja Municipal Council is not just about Area 11 to AYA. We have communities 20 kilometers inside the bush. And therefore, these councillors are representing this constituent, and they need to also showcase that we were elected and these are services. So we are put in place measures, and this is the second week now. Sorry, this is the third week that we are doing, public procurement of our tenders, so that by the time we are done with it, I want to assure you that any moment in March, we will commence with speed provision of facilities that will add meaning to people's life.
Let's look at these primary schools and then the primary health centers. Which are the areas you have already mapped out that you're going to make, or rather provide these facilities to?
You're talking of communities? We have identified communities, one in Nyanya. We have identified some communities in Karishi Ward. I may not be able to just roll out names of these communities right now, but every ward, the 12 ward, we have one project in health, we have one project in education, we also have one project in road construction, so that every ward will be assigned these facilities. So at the end of just about 3-4 months to come, when we begin to go around to supervise and even commission some of this project, it will be a talk of the town that yes, these are things that we have been asking for, and it will still come their way.
Traffic situation appears to be one of the mandates of the local councils. And this is one area that you will agree with me, particularly in the areas to Nyanya, when you're leaving the municipal city, you're going towards Nyanya. In spite of the expansion of the roads, the traffic is still something else. What are you doing about that?
I think this is not, let me be very frank with you, transportation sector, all right, is a disturbing trend. And it has gone beyond the capacity of local councils in this case, because we are talking of the capital city. No council like what I have today can manage traffic except the superior authority, which is the Federal Capital Territory. And therefore, they have taken charge of that. Okay, we used to have, each time we talk about transportation, then it has to be this common kekena pave and what have you. Those ones are being managed by area councils. But because of the nature of their services, which is not too elitist nature, I think the Federal Capital Territory has come in there and have, dislodged them from the capital city. So we have very little to do. But of course, where it affects us, where it concerns us, now is to ensure that we have a motor park, the only motor park that is available in the city, which very soon we are going to lay foundation for its takeoff. That is the Jabi Park. Okay, that is the only modern park that area council now want to ensure that we build it so that it will serve the purpose for which it is intended. You agree with me that in the entire capital city, the successive administration were not averse to ensuring that in each district we have motor parks. They couldn't do that. So it cannot be the fault of this current administration. It is the fault of successive administration. But we are lucky that this Jabi Park is domiciled within the capital city and is owned by Abuja Municipal Council. So we are taking advantage of that situation so that we can add value to what the Federal Capital Territory is doing by ensuring that after putting in place this Jabi Park, it will minimize unnecessary issue that has to do with where bus stops and passengers are
Any plans to upgrade the park?
That is what I'm saying. It's going to be an international motor park. Okay? We are partnering with a developer, and we have reached an advanced stage. Very soon we are going to do the groundbreaking of that motor park. Is going to be one in town, because in the entire capital city you do not have any other motor park in town. And luckily, because this is domiciled within the area council and is owned by us, we would not like to play with it. We are taking advantage of this situation so that in our own way support the Federal Capital Territory while they are ensuring that the capital city is, tidied. As far as transportation is concerned, we now also support them by saying this is motor park where you are not going to, Nigeria will go now to use as the...
Are you thinking of motor park for Kekenape people as well?
Not quite for now. What we are busy about is the motor park in Jabi is going to be multidimensional. Okay? It's going to be so attractive. It's a modern one in the city, for that matter, which is also going to house other facilities like banks and what have you. And don't forget there's a railway corridor around that particular place. So this is going to add value. What I'm saying, we are going to complement the effort of the Federal Capital Territory, because the current administration of Federal Capital is doing everything possible to keep Abuja tidy.
So the Kekenape falls under your jurisdiction.
Yeah.
You will agree with me that they operate in a disorganized manner.
I agree.
They don't obey traffic.
Yes.
They drive the way they like. So is it these your marshals that are responsible for putting them in check, or who?
No, that is in the localities. Of course, in the localities where that is the suburb, from Nyanya down to Karshi, and then from Kado down to Day side, our people manage them. Okay, but in the city we don't have the capacity to do that.
Which is why some of them have been banned in some areas.
Indeed, we didn't frown at that, because we can't afford to have the city in the manner they wanted to see it. So it is better that the Federal Capital Territory takes the bull by the horns by telling them, by regulating their services. Now they have been sent to the suburb. In the suburb, we are managing them, and I think it's a better idea.
What about upgrade of markets? Any plans?
Good. Of course, we have markets in the Federal Capital Territory and markets in Abuja. We are upgrading them. For instance, if you go to Gwagwa now, we have an old ancient market, okay, that was built during the native authorities. We upgraded them. You go to that community, you'll be amazed as to how that market that used to be something, an eyesore, is now wearing a new look. Okay. We also have an idea in Nyanya market. Okay.
In Karo market.
In Karo, yes. In Karo market, you can see it's our project. Though it wasn't executed during my tenure, but government is transient. It was put in play by the Honorable Zafania's tenure. And you can see it's a beautiful thing. At least it has upgraded the facility that used to be there in those years. Now we're also doing the same thing in Kabusa market right now. If you go to Kabusa, you agree with me that a new market is coming up in partnership with developers. Our thinking should be that we must not, live in the past. We are improving, and so every of our facility must also be upgraded.
We must not live in the past.
Yes.
That brings us to the issue of constitutional review, which is coming up now. What reforms or amendments do you envisage, or will you suggest, having been on the saddle from 2016 to date, for the local government councils?
I think if we have to talk about constitutional amendment, there are several issues surrounding constitution that need to be amended. But of course, since you want my views from this point of local councils, I said it and I will repeat it, that local councils are the government very close to the people. 90% of Nigerians live in these localities. Whatever is your position, you must have come from one local government to the other, right? And therefore, it means local councils must not be just treated as if they are nothing. They must be, taken good care of. And that is why we are saying a situation where local councils are not having autonomy, the end result is disservice, because the people will not see any service. And therefore, we are supporting this idea of autonomy by the National Assembly. This time around, they must not allow this idea of autonomy eluding the local council, because when they do that, at the end of the day, it is the people that suffer.
But what is the scenario like with your council and the FCT administration?
No, no.
Especially as it relates to the challenge of joint accounts, which we know bedevils other councils in the country.
Yes, even that I'm not talking in respect of AMAC or in respect of the area councils in FCT. I'm only saying it in sympathy to other local councils across the state.
You have a symbiotic relationship with the FCT.
A symbiotic relationship between the FCT and area councils. A kobo has never been taken away from our area council. In fact, we have the fullest of autonomy, particularly under the current minister and the minister of state. So much, reason to say these gentlemen have taken off their eyes from whatever belongs to the local council, and that is autonomy. We're not just talking about economic autonomy, but administrative autonomy, because they have reason, they have never interfered.
In a few words, residents of FCT appear to support the need for a mayor. Are you one of them?
Well, I think I may be a supporter, but not by defining the kind of office you mentioned. When you say a mayor, what is a mayor? I'm already a mayor. The chairman of Abuja Municipal Council is the mayor of the capital city. It's only by definition. What we're asking for, even if you are going to give the person the name of a monitor, give him, but let there be an election of a second-tier structure. Let me tell you, it is only the Abuja person, you and me. I may be an indigenous, you may be a resident, whatever it is, we're all Nigerians. Okay? It is only you and me that suffers the fate of stateless citizens. Okay? This is the only place where you have citizens being administered through files as a ministry. It shouldn't be.
Abdullahi Adamu Candido, I think we will leave that for another day. The issues you can see are inexhaustible. So we will certainly come back to the issue of the constitutional reforms. And on this note, we thank you so very much for availing us with your time and coming to the studio to discuss issues related to your tenure and your aspirations and objectives for your people.
Thank you very much. It's my pleasure, really. Thank you.
Ruth Aguele.
Thank you.
I don't need to thank you, right? But I will thank you.
Thank you very much.
Well, Platform this edition discussed the local government councils and the challenge of service delivery. Honorable Abdullahi Adamu Candido, Executive Chairman, Abuja Municipal Council, has said it all, and he said he indeed has provided and is providing service to his people. That's Platform. Until we come your way again, I am Muhammad Kuda Abubakar. Bye for now.